The first time Ethan saw Lily, it was raining. Not just the kind of soft drizzle that wets your eyelashes, but the kind that pours endlessly, drumming against rooftops and echoing like memories you can't escape. He had forgotten his umbrella, and the bookstore's small awning barely shielded him from the downpour. That's when she appeared, holding a red umbrella, wearing a sky blue coat, and smiling as though the rain itself obeyed her. "Would you like to share?" she asked, tilting the umbrella toward him. Ethan hesitated, water dripping from his hair, his breath fogging in the cold air. "Only if you don't mind walking with a stranger." She laughed softly. "Strangers become stories, don't they?" That was how their story began. Two strangers walking down Maple Street under one umbrella, talking about books, music, and the way rain made everything smell like second chances. Chapter 1. The Rain in the Letters. Ethan was a writer, or at least he was trying to be. He spent most of his days in the small cafe near the old clock tower, typing words that no one read. But after meeting Lily, his words changed. Every story he wrote carried pieces of her laughter, her eyes, her silence. They met every weekend, sometimes under clear skies, sometimes under clouds, but the rain was always theirs. When it rained, Ethan would walk to the cafe, and Lily would always be there, waiting with 2 cups of coffee, one black, one sweet with too much milk. "You write letters to the rain," she once said, reading one of his unfinished stories. "You make sadness sound beautiful." He smiled, maybe because sadness always listens. Chapter 2. The Promise. One evening, as thunder rolled across the horizon, Lily grew quiet. "There's something I need to tell you," she whispered. "I might have to leave for a while. My mother's sick. The hospital's in another city." Ethan's heart sank. "How long is a while?" "I don't know." She looked at him with eyes that begged him not to ask more. "But promise me something. Keep writing. Write to me, even if I can't reply. I'll read every word someday." So he did. Every day, Ethan wrote a letter to Lily. He wrote about the rain, about the empty seat across from him in the cafe, about how the sky looked when she left. He mailed them to her address, even when weeks turned into months and no reply came back. The rain kept falling, and so did his words. Chapter 3. The Silence. 2 years passed. The letters returned unopened, marked address unknown. Ethan tried calling, visiting, searching online. Nothing. It was as if Lily had been erased from the world. Friends told him to move on. "You can't wait for someone who doesn't want to be found," they said. But Ethan didn't believe that. He knew Lily. She wasn't someone who disappeared without reason, so he kept writing. He didn't mail them anymore, just kept them in a box by his window. Whenever it rained, he'd sit there, listening to the storm, writing her another letter. "Dear Lily," he'd begin, "today it rained again, and I thought of you." Chapter 4. The Stranger with the Red Umbrella. It was another stormy afternoon when a young girl walked into the cafe, carrying a red umbrella, faded, torn at the edges but unmistakably familiar. "Excuse me," she said shyly. "Are you Mr. Ethan Cole?" "Yes." She handed him a small envelope, yellowed and soft at the corners. His name was written in Lily's handwriting. "My mother asked me to give you this," the girl said. Her voice cracked. "Before she passed away." Ethan froze. His chest tightened. "Your mother?" The girl nodded. "Her name was Lily." Chapter 5. The Last Letter. He opened the envelope with trembling hands. Inside was a single page, slightly stained, as if tears or raindrops had fallen on it long ago. "Dear Ethan, if you're reading this, it means I couldn't come back. I wanted to. Every day I wanted to. But my illness got worse faster than anyone expected. I read your letters. The nurses used to bring them to me. I couldn't reply, not because I didn't want to, but because my hands were too weak to write. Every letter you wrote was like a heartbeat that kept me alive a little longer. You gave me rain when my world turned dry. You gave me hope when everything felt lost. Promise me one thing, don't stop writing, because when you write, you make people believe in love again. And if it ever rains, look for me there. I'll be under the same sky, holding our umbrella. With love forever, Lily." The words blurred as his tears mixed with the ink. Outside, the rain began to fall harder, tapping against the window like soft applause from the heavens. Chapter 6. The Letters in the Rain. Years passed. Ethan grew older, his hair grayer, his steps slower, but he never stopped writing. He became a famous author. His most beloved book was titled Letters in the Rain, dedicated to Lily, who taught me how to write love that never fades. Readers from all over the world wrote to him, saying his words made them cry, made them hope, made them believe again. On rainy days, he still sat by the same window, pen in hand, whispering softly, "Dear Lily." Sometimes he could almost hear her voice in the rhythm of the rain, gentle, laughing, alive. Chapter 7. The Return. One spring afternoon, as he walked through the park, he saw a young woman sitting on a bench under a red umbrella. She was reading Letters in the Rain. He smiled. "That's a good book," he said. She looked up, smiling back. "It's my favorite. My mother used to tell me about a man who wrote letters to the rain. I never knew it was real until now." Ethan felt his throat tighten. "Your mother?" She nodded. "Lily was my grandmother." In her eyes he saw the same warmth, the same kindness, the same spark that had once lit up his entire world. "Grandma used to say love never dies," she said softly. "It just finds new hearts to live in." Epilogue. The rain never stopped. That evening the rain returned, soft, endless, comforting. Ethan sat by the window, a new letter in his hand. "Dear Lily, it's raining again. The world still remembers your laughter. A girl with your eyes read our story today. Maybe that's how love lives on, not in the people who leave, but in the hearts they touch. You were right, Lily. Love never fades. It just changes shape, like raindrops becoming rivers, clouds, and storms, all part of the same endless sky. I'll see you in the rain. Yours always, Ethan." He placed the letter by the window, where the rain could reach it. The ink began to blur, the paper softening, as if the rain itself carried it away, to wherever Lily waited. And somewhere beyond the clouds, perhaps under a red umbrella, she smiled. Theme and message. This story is about timeless love, the kind that doesn't fade even when life does. It's about how words can keep people alive in memory, how promises written in ink can survive the storms of time. Letters in the rain, love that never faded. Reminds us that some love stories aren't meant to end. They're meant to echo forever, one raindrop at a time.